I want to welcome everyone this evening. City of Bedford Common Council meeting, Bedford Municipal Hall, 1617 K Street, Tuesday, June the 16th at 7 p.m. We're going to start this evening. We have a public hearing, consideration of adoption of an ordinance to implement a local option highway user tax, motor vehicle excise surtax, and county wheel tax. Mr. Pittman?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll open the public hearing by introducing the ordinance and kind of explaining the municipal wheel tax and the motor vehicle license excise surtax, and then open it up for any public comment. If anyone would like to come up and speak, they'll need to come up to the podium, state your name and address, and you'll have 30 minutes to address the council on that topic. The ordinance that's being presented is for a municipal wheel tax and a motor vehicle license excise surtax. There's a statute that establishes those taxes, of course, and the range for the municipal wheel tax is anywhere between $5 and $40. And a motor vehicle license excise surtax, there's a range of $7.50 up to $25 that can be imposed by the City Council. The current municipal wheel tax and motor vehicle license excise surtax, which I'll call wheel tax and surtax from now on, those two taxes are collected by the county at the current time at $25 for each one for any vehicles eligible and subject to that tax. That was passed back in 2005 and has been imposed since that time. Now that's being collected a little differently and will be paid directly to municipalities that pass this ordinance, and the proposed ordinance keeps the rates at the exact same amount. Those rates are not additional taxes to what the county charged before. They're the same amount, so it's not a double tax. You would stack the two, so that it would be important for us to kind of coordinate with the county to establish that tax before this year. But starting 2026, effective next year, when the tax would be implemented, there is no stacking. So municipal residents who go to the BMV, register their vehicles that are subject to these taxes, would pay the same amount. It'd just be paid to the city instead of through the county. So it would not be additional tax. So this ordinance keeps it at the same rate it's been since 2005 and would be collected through the Bureau of Motor Vehicles and paid back to the city. The reason it's important, this tax is necessary for the city to be eligible for local road, bridge, matching, grant lane mile distributions. So it's important for us to pass this and be able to be eligible for those grant dollars. These two different taxes, the statute requires that they be passed concurrently. So this ordinance has both taxes in them. It's required to be passed, both taxes. So you can't have one without the other. So that's why there are two. And again, the rates don't change. So the taxpayer will not see an increase in any of the tax paid for either the wheel tax or the surtax. The vehicles that are subject to the surtax are passenger cars, trucks less than or equal to 11,000 pounds, motorcycles, motor-driven cycles such as mopeds, and then trailers less than or equal to 9,000 pounds. And then the municipal wheel tax, it's subject to trucks greater than 11,000 pounds, trailers greater than 9,000 pounds, semis, buses, recreational vehicles. Council have any questions for me at this time? Okay, I'll open it up to the public. If there's anyone here who'd like to address the council on this topic, feel free to come up at this time. Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
All right, thank you. Ryan, would you please lead us in prayer?
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us the ability to meet tonight to conduct the city's business. Please entrust us the ability and the knowledge to make the best decisions we can for the city of Bedford, and that we will all make safe journeys home and be with us through the 4th of July weekend that's coming up. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Craig, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, calling our meeting to order this evening. We have approval of minutes from May 19th, which was a regular meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Old business, we have one item that was tabled, is ordinance 10-2026, amending Chapter 33 Employment Policies 33.50, Health Insurance, request authorization and approval, the amendment to ordinance 33.50, Health Insurance Spousal Carve-Out. Denise?
Thank you. This was tabled from the last council meeting. Completely, of course, up to the council as to what you'd like to do with this. It has been changed to say shall instead of may if you decide to implement this. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Do you have an idea approximately how many employees this affects? So, I mean, I know everybody has spouses, or maybe I get that, but, I mean, do we have any idea of?
The number of employees that I believe it could potentially affect, I've took the number from the last bill and took half of the number on each plan and then also kind of reduced that by half. So just a guesstimate, I mean, it could be about 20 employees, probably a little more than that.
And can you remind me, Denise, if those estimates are somewhat accurate, approximately how much that would be saving the city?
Using those numbers, it's going to be probably between $250,000 to $290,000 in savings on those premiums.
And when exactly do we have to have this decision made by? If we were to just theoretically,
Sure.
table it or hold off before making any decisions?
We are meeting with our AIM Medical Trust in July to start working towards basically the next phase of the open enrollments in November. However, I think budget talks are starting with the department heads and things end of June, beginning of July.
Okay.
I would like to make one note, Denise. Whenever we talk about, you said approximately 20 employees, I feel like that we should mention the number of employees that we actually have.
We have 157 full-time eligible employees.
Okay. And then on the other question, reference to the time frame, Heath, we're looking at it this year just from the standpoint of the insurance, as if we want to deal with it this year or not. As we all know, we're looking at budget cuts, and the clerk treasurer can probably speak to that a little bit better possibly with her numbers. It's something that we're looking at doing, want to present to the council for this year. If the council decides that they don't want to act on it, then it's something that I'm assuming will probably be back next year. I believe the rough number in 2028, Billy, correct me if I'm wrong, we were talking $3 million?
Yes, roughly $3 million.
In 2028. So we're just trying to start looking at options we're seeing some things going to effect now, but 2028 is going to be the big hit where we're going to lose that, and then as far as to our lit money. So it's entirely up to the council how they want to address the issue, if they want something they want to look at doing now, or if they desire not to.
So Denise, you said you came up with 20 employees, and you said you took half of half? Is that what you?
Not quite half of half. It was about half, and then I deducted maybe 5 off of that from each plan. That was going by the April premium bill to distinguish how many employees were on each plan.
So the employee's spouse that doesn't work and doesn't have insurance, they're still
eligible.
okay.
Yeah, This is only going to pertain to if we have an employee and their spouse has excess and qualifies for health insurance where they are employed at. Other than that, they will continue to be on our plan and go from there. And I think when Denise tries to give these numbers, I just want to make sure, we're throwing some numbers out there, but until we actually go through this process, this is just a guesstimate as to what we're possibly looking at as to what reality may actually really be.
Denise, has there been any feedback from any of the employees?
I've heard from 3 employees. 2 of them have indicated that it could be a hardship with their spouse's insurance to be more expensive. I think that in the long run, the savings to the employee could be applied to that, and I understand there's going to be some situations that it won't cover completely, depending on how their insurance is set up through their spouse's insurance company. But I personally have heard from 3 people that have indicated a question as to the costs of their spouse's insurance.
Is there a way legally to do a poll to ask each employee so we do have a hard number?
I could do it, yeah. I could do a poll, or I could contact their insurance companies directly. I know that would take some time.
Yeah, I think, my recommendation, we're not going to try to contact every employee's insurance carrier.
Yeah.
I think that if we want to poll something, we can send something out to the employees and have them sign it as of today, if this took place, how it would affect you. And we probably just list a checkbox so that it'd be very simple for them to look at and be able to complete and then get it back to us.
I didn't know what the legalities, if you could even ask that question, if you can ask that question.
That limited information would be okay.
And we could also give the option if they didn't want to, but they wouldn't have to.
Would that be anonymously collected, or would you?
No, I don't think it'd be anonymously, because we might run into the issue. We might have, unfortunately, some individuals filling out more than one form, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You said 250 to 290 is what you're proposing, Denise?
That's an estimate, yeah, based on just dividing numbers, reducing numbers, kind of understanding certain situations. Very rough estimate.
And I think that one thing that has hurt us a little bit, the city's insurance is decent insurance, and we have seen in the last 2 or 3 years, or probably even longer than that we're seeing a lot of employees that are actually bringing their spouses over to our insurance because, for different reasons, our insurance is better than what they have. So I think we have also kind of drawn spouses to our insurance just because of the availability of it and what it amounts to.
Well, and with this budget cut that we're going to have to deal with for the next few years, our quality of insurance may go down a little bit too, just to make the rates that we have to get close to.
In the next 2 or 3 years, there's going to be a lot of questions come up that's going to have to be answered. And again, like I said, this is something that's up to the council. If they, if you want a poll, or if you decide you just don't want to deal with it till, at a later date, then that's an option. It's just whatever you prefer to do.
Would it be possible to have the policy so that if they wanted to keep their spouse on our insurance, they could, but they had to pay for it?
Well, that could possibly be an option, but
I'd probably cost prohibitive for most people.
Yeah, I think that it probably would be. But then again, I don't know what some of the spouses, what insurance they may have. It might be a benefit to them. Denise, can you speak to that?
I can. I mean, if the council wanted to impose, I don't want to say a fee, but if you wanted to impose some sort of cost to keep the spouse on the plan that they could pay, I'll just give you an example. Currently, an employee spouse plan, the total premium for 1 month is $2,677.50. The city pays around 90% of that currently. So that leaves the employee paying just, around 10% of that. So the city's portion currently of that particular one is $2,133 per month, and the employees is $543. However, we also have the wellness credit that we give employees if they participate, so that's an additional $105 per month that the city takes on that comes off the employee's portion. So that brings it to around the 90% mark. Taking those numbers, I mean, if you wanted them to pay $500, I think if you look at Billy's chart, that might help a little more. I don't know if it made it into this one or not, this book. It might have been from last month, but.
So Denise, can you tell them if you have just say for instance, you have a husband and wife, you have that plan, and if you looked at that and converted it to a single policy, then what would they be paying for their spouse additional money? And I don't think you can attribute the $105 to it, because that would be for the employee, so they would have to pay the difference. What would that number be?
So not using the wellness credit, for that particular employee to spouse to go down to an employee-only plan, there's a difference of about $343 a month. From the employee family is roughly $600 a month to go down to roughly $210. So you're almost looking at $400 a month.
I don't think I explained myself correctly, and possibly. I was weighing the dollar amount that if they were separated, what that total income, what it would cost them to be on that spousal plan versus the single plan.
The employee-only plan on the PPO.
Okay.
Do you want the total premium or just what the employee currently pays?
Well, I want to know what the difference is between the one plan versus the other plan. What our employee is going to have to pay out of pocket if they keep their spouse on the policy, which will then they will be paying for a double plan there for husband and wife or whatever, but they would only be paying for the single policy. They would be paying for the
single policy is $210 a month.
Okay.
The employee plus spouse is $543 a month.
Okay, but that's what the city's paying?
No, that's what the employee pays.
That's what the employee's paying.
The city currently pays $820 a month on the employee-only PPO, and employee spouse, the city pays $2,133.
Okay.
Am I not?
That's fine. That's fine. So you're saying that if we want to offer this plan, then we're going to tell our employees that the employee pays for the single rate, and for their spouse to have the extra coverage for the husband, wife, whatever, the spouse coverage, it's only costing $400 a month?
No, that was the employee-only portion.
Okay.
So the employee plus spouse plan is $267. That's the total premium. If you stick with the same percentage the city's paying now, we pay $2,133. So if you go down to the employee-only plan, that's $1,029, and the city pays $820 a month of that plan. So the difference between what the city pays on an employee spouse is about $1,200 a month.
That's the number I'm looking for. Okay,
Not there.
not $400. All
I was looking at employee only, or the employee.
That's what the employee would have to pay to have his spouse on the insurance.
$1,200,
Is
yes.
$1,200 a month.
That's where I was trying to get to. Okay.
You have to draw me a picture.
It's all right. No, we're good. I just want to make sure we weren't stuck on this $400, because it was going to be around $1,200 or so for them to keep their spouse on. And that's where we're going to have to look to see if it's even cost effective for them to keep them on, or for them to get insurance where they're currently employed at if they have coverage.
I guess if you're going to poll, could you include that in the poll, that would you keep your spouse on and pay that $1,200? And we know the rates are going to be for 27. It may be, the county's jumped $2 million on their insurance.
Yeah, we don't know what our new rates are going to be. It'll all be speculation.
Right.
As a side note, going from an employee family down to an employee only is $2,000. So if you take employee family and you just go down to employee child, it's $1,000 additional a month. So.
If you have the family plan and you have a spouse, to keep the spouse on the family plan would be $1,200 a month.
If you currently have a family plan, it would be $3,000. It would be $2,000, I'm sorry, yes. To keep the family plan.
Wouldn't we have to adjust that for the kids, for any kids on the plan, because it would still cover them?
There is a plan for employee and children. So what you're going to have to do is look at that plan versus the family plan and do the same thing we just did with the other.
If a spouse comes off a family plan, and they have children that they still want to cover, it would go down to the employee child plan, which would be $1,000.
If you want to go by year, if you have a family plan, it's Plan 1. Right now, it's costing the city over $29,000. That would drop from a family plan to employee and children. That would save the city, I said county, $8,765 a year.
On one person.
That's just taking the spouse off, leaving the children on.
Is this off the handout you had last?
Yeah, it should be in your book.
It's in the front.
I think. And all I can say is, this is not up to me, but this is just the beginning of some hard decisions you guys are going to have to make.
I thought it was in the front, so I lied to you.
As the mayor stated earlier, we're very happy with our insurance plans, our insurance coverage, and this is one way that we can try to not have to rock that boat yet to get different coverage or, affect the entire employee consensus. This will affect the employees that have eligible insurance other places for their spouse.
Does this take 3 passages, Mayor?
If it's an ordinance, yes, it'll take 3 passages. Yes. And something else we've talked a little bit about it, it makes it more difficult because we all want to do what we can for our employees without a doubt. But since the last meeting, I've done a little bit of polling with other businesses and stuff. Ryan and I have talked about it a little bit, and this is something that's been taking place for some time.
Yes.
We just have not had to deal with it and been able to take care of our employees, but unfortunately now we're kind of in a situation that is very difficult.
Well, I guess I'll be the bad guy, so. I know if it takes 3 passages, we won't make the 3rd passage till next month. And that gives us time to get a poll, if that can be done in a month. So I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance 10-2026.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? I would entertain this if there's a second passage.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? So we will leave it there. We will see about doing a poll out and get it out to the employees to see about the other side of this. And then we'll bring that back at the next meeting and go from there.
And if any employees wanted to come to the meeting on the 21st of July, they would be welcome to do so. Is that correct?
They're more than welcome.
Public meeting. So pass that along to them, please.
Yeah. And I'm open to comments too from the employees, so, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question for council. So with this ordinance that we're looking at as far as to the 2 passages tonight, at our next meeting, if we come back after this polling and they decide that they want to do something else as far as giving the employees the option of paying privately or whatever for their spouse's insurance, will this ordinance then have to be amended again?
Yes. You'd have to introduce a new ordinance. Yeah.
Okay, that was my thought.
Require
three more passages. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that with everybody. Thank you. All right, we will move on to new business. Compliance with statement of benefits, CF1 tax abatement for Stone City Products, personal property, 600-ton stamping press line. Stewart? I don't believe Stewart is here. Okay, so Stewart's not here. I would recommend that I get a motion to table and we'll try again next meeting.
So moved. Second.
Right, I'm sorry, who made the motion? Craig beat us. Okay, all right. Craig and Ryan, all those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. All right, moving on to compliance with statement of benefits. There's several resolutions here, and they're all General Motors. I want to check with the board to see if anyone objects to going through these at one time and just do one passage for all of them. Okay. All right, so compliance with statement of benefits, tax abatement for General Motors LLC. We have representatives here if you want to come up. I take it, Alicia?
Yes.
All right, welcome.
I am here.
Okay, so what we're going to look at is Personal Property Resolution 7-2015, furnish and install machinery, equipment, and special tooling to support die casting operations for various products. We have Personal Property Resolution 8-2016, furnish and install machinery, equipment, and special tooling to produce aluminum block castings. We have Personal Property Resolution 6-2022, furnish, install, or upgrade machinery, equipment, and special tooling, including dies to support EV component manufacturing. So if the council wants to look at those resolutions, and we will see if they have any questions or any discussion, and then we will proceed from there.
Mayor, one of these is getting ready to be close to the end of its term, isn't it?
I believe that we've had one bidder that's already dropped off this year.
What, These three still go on for a couple of years.
Yeah, okay. The one here is,
One fell off.
Okay.
This is the last year for it. We still have three left. Yeah, in the front of your book, it has the timeline
on the abatements. I
of
think
your abatement list.
the top one is the one that fell off, I do believe.
Yeah, the last year was 25, pay 26.
So your employee numbers staying about the same?
Yes.
I was looking at that. On the three that we have here, one of them went from 670 to 788.
Yeah, I mean, you'll always see fluctuation from year to year in volume and, employee head count, but it's overall, it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, the two are over considerable, and there's one that's just a tad bit, went from 798 to 788, but the other two are well over their number.
Yeah, if you look at our annual volume, last year we were roughly 2 million, same for this year for the number of castings that we are shipping.
Okay.
So very consistent.
Mr. Mayor, does anything need to be changed in the wording of the motion since we're doing these all three together?
Yeah, the motion just needs to say that we're passing and just list, I believe, all three resolutions in the motion to approve.
You're going to approve the CF1s. The resolutions are already passed. It's just the resolution that goes with the CF1s.
Okay.
I'll make a motion we approve the CF1 Statement of Benefits for the Personal Property Resolution 7-2015, Resolution 8-2016, and Resolution 6-2022.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Compliance with Statement of Benefits, CF1 tax abatement for Grayson Real Estate LLC. Corey King.
How we doing?
Good. Doing well, thank you.
See ya.
All right. Does the council have any questions or discussion for Corey?
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the CF1 tax abatement for Grayson Real Estate LLC.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Compliance with Statement of Benefits, CF1 tax abatement for Lee Cuba. If the council has anything for discussion, if not, when appropriate, I'd entertain a motion.
Looks like business has picked up a little bit, Lee.
It did today, actually, yes, thanks to our GM partners. But our underground pipe repair business is almost completely gone.
Almost underground.
It's almost underground, that's yep. But our GM business is keeping us afloat.
Make a motion we approve the CF1 for Lee Cuba.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
I'm abstaining.
I'm sorry?
I'm abstaining.
Okay, I'm sorry, Craig.
And you had voted me down twice. Do I have a second one?
Yeah, we've got a compliance statement of benefits CF1 tax abatement for non-lead properties.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the approval of the CF1 tax abatement for Nanlee Properties LLC.
I'll second.
Second by Judy. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Abstain from that one also.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now, ordinance 11-2026, imposing the municipal wheel tax and excise surtax and creating the municipal wheel tax fund. Mr. Pittman.
Thank you, Mayor. You have ordinance number 11 there in your book. As I mentioned earlier at the public hearing, this would establish two different taxes, the wheel tax and the surtax, excise surtax, at $25 per vehicle that's subject to the tax. This does not increase the amount of taxes being paid by the current taxpayer. In the past, they were tacked on to the county's wheel tax and surtax, starting with passages of these taxes in 2026, effective 27. They aren't tacked onto one another, so the $25 would not generate an increase to the taxpayer. And I listed the vehicles earlier that would be subject to the wheel tax. If anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. But
I just had a quick question on the distribution of the revenues. How is that working? Like, is it, do we get some of that revenue, like, as soon as each time somebody pays their, fees at B&B, or is it?
I don't know how frequently it's distributed.
Right.
It's monthly.
Monthly, okay.
Right now,
monthly.
the county gets it and distributes to us.
Well, I know that's how it does currently.
Yeah, after this, we'll get it straight from the state.
Okay, but it'll come in monthly installments?
It has been.
Okay.
And I know you've said this, I just want to reaffirm it. This is not a new tax. This is basically taking what currently goes to the county, and instead of being distributed to the county and the county giving it to us, it's going to come directly to us.
Correct. And their tax was imposed in 2005. That's when they adopted the tax, and it's been $25 since that time, I believe. So, and it still is 25, so we're just matching what the county's already charging.
And also, as a matter of clarification, we have to do this in order to qualify for the community crossings and those grants.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
I would make a motion that we approve ordinance 11-2026.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? I would entertain a second passage.
So move. Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We will wait and do our third and final passage at our next meeting. Okay, we'll move on to ordinance 12-2026, establishing an ordinance for donation fund. Billy?
Yes, the city currently receives donations for different activities that it has, and right now we're collecting donations to have a larger fireworks display. One thing that we need to do is separate those funds from other funds and keep a separation. So I do need this resolution so I can establish the fund, and I would ask for you to pass it tonight, all three passages.
Is that set up, Billy, for different funds, even besides if it's a fireworks or something else?
Exactly.
It all
That's why
goes to
we
the
wrote
same
it.
kitty.
Yes, that's why we wrote it as a donation fund, so I'll have a line for fireworks. We'll keep that money separate in the fund.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve ordinance 12-2026.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the second? Brad. Brad, okay. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Entertain a second passage.
I'll make a motion for the passage of ordinance 12-2026,
Second passage.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? If so, I entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Move.
Second.
We have Larry and Kathy. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. This time I would entertain a third and final passage.
So move, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. Okay. Resolution 5-2026, adoption of official city flag.
Good evening. In your package, you should have a rendering of the proposed city flag. This is something that we would like for the city council to adopt. We, as you can see, have opted to go with the Bedford City Seal, and that's just for branding continuity, because it's something that is synonymous with the city already. It's already part of our letterhead and on vehicles, and it just continues to keep our brand strong.
So when we present this flag, do you sing? Is that right? I just don't.
I would definitely advise against that.
I was just checking. I just wanted to.
Larry was just wanting to know so he knew what to practice.
That's right. If you're going to back me up, Larry, then I'll try.
I got you.
How fast do you think we can get these put up once we...
Sarah?
So we have already ordered some sample sizes just to kind of play around with what we think is going to look best at our municipal sites. And we should have the sample sizes in, I would say, within the next couple of weeks, but a larger order usually takes at least 10 business days to turn around. Mm-hmm. So probably by the end of July if it was passed today.
Well, are these going to be 3x5 flags?
Well, that's what we're assuming, but we've ordered 3x5s and then also 2x3s just to see how they compare on the different size poles that we have.
And would we be presenting these to, as an example, career firefighters, career police officers, and so on, who served 20 years with the city? Would they get one of these?
We've not came up with that policy yet.
Okay.
If we get the flag in place, then that's something that we will review and look at different options on how we want to present these flags to our employees or any other circumstance that we really want to look at.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 5-2026.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Resolution 6-2026, resolution approving Plan Commission order and enlargement of TIF area. Heidi? I apologize, I think we have someone else on the agenda.
Yes. My name is Heidi Benitez with Bedford Municipal Advisors. Just a little bit of a summary of the resolution. This council meeting is a third step in a four-step process to amend and expand the city's consolidated TIF area for 4 different new developments. The process started with the adoption of a declaratory resolution by the RDC at its May meeting, and the Plan Commission adopted an order approving the declaratory resolution at its meeting last week. So if approved by the council, the process would go back to the RDC for a public hearing and confirmatory resolution at its July meeting, and then Baker Tilly would prepare and distribute a tax impact statement to all overlapping units prior to that meeting. So the actions would reset 3 sites currently in allocation area number 1 and Eastgate allocation area into new 25-year allocation areas, so resetting that time for that TIF. The existing allocation areas expire after 2036 and 2039, so really it's to maximize the TIF capture for the new projects and ensure TIF collections remain healthy in future years. So going into the analysis, which kind of outlines the numbers. On the second page, you'll see the first Stone City allocation area, which will be composed of the Del Taco restaurant. We are estimating it to be assessed at about $500,000. with TIF collections about 10,000. On the next page, the Wawa allocation area. Excuse me. It will consist of the Wawa gas station convenience store, and we're estimating it to be assessed at about $1.3 million, with the total TIF at about $36,000. And then the next page, the Limestone Edge allocation area will be composed of a rental residential project of about 28,000 square feet total throughout a few different units. We're estimating it to be assessed at about $2.8 million, and we have taken into effect the SEA 1 deductions for 2% parcels. So we're estimating the TIF to be about $50,000 to $60,000 after those deductions are put into place. And then that number for the last area, this is what's causing us to expand the consolidated TIF. So this is another rental residential project at about 46,000 square feet, estimating it to be assessed at about $4.5 million. And again, we put into place those 2% new deductions from SEA 1, and we are estimating TIF to be about $80,000 to $90,000 after those SEA 1 deductions go into place. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
This Cardinal Crossing, that's the new one out by Arby's, right? Number 4.
We have the Cardinal Crossing is one down on 39th Street, I do believe.
Okay.
The Limestone Edge is the Hoosier Uplands project, I believe.
Next to Holiday Inn, right?
Yes,
And these 4 different parcels are also all undeveloped land, so everything really is an additional, it wasn't really capturing any TIF existing.
So Brian, the new allocation area proposal in 2026 in the large area is the Cardinal Crossing. That's the one on 39th Street.
I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 6-26.
Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. Request approval and acceptance of Esteban Flores tax abatement SB1 real estate improvements 802 16th Street and approving resolution 7-2026 establishing deductions for real estate improvement tax abatement. Greg?
Thank you, Mayor. You have a resolution before you that if you approve the abatement would establish an abatement for up to 10 years for real property tax abatement for this particular application for abatement. The Redevelopment Commission earlier considered the abatement and they had scored the abatement and have a recommendation to do a 10-year abatement if you approve the abatement. So the period of time has been established and recommended by the Redevelopment Commission at 10 years. So if there is a motion to pass and approve this resolution, then you will also need to identify in the motion the percentage each year for the abatement. That is normally a reducing percentage each year at 10% each year for a 10-year abatement. So you'd have 100% the first year, 90, 80, down to a 10% in year 10, which in year 11 would be 0. You also need to identify what percentage you want to charge for a fee. So the city collects a portion of the abated taxes, up to 15% or 100,000, whichever is less. So traditionally you've done 15%, you max that out. And then you also need to identify what economic development organizations you'd like that fee to be distributed to. That we have 4, Bedford Redevelopment Commission, Lawrence County Economic Growth Council, Bedford Revitalization Incorporated, and Bedford Urban Enterprise Association. Those are eligible entities to receive that fee. You can divide it up among all 4, you can divide it or pay it to one. And most recently, you've been doing the Redevelopment Commission 100%. So, I believe that's all for this resolution.
Any discussion?
So Dan, what are they wanting to do in this building?
What they're doing, Bon and his wife has purchased the property at 802 16th, and it's the project's going to take a building that's been vacant for a long time and make it useful once again. That's the main thing. But they want to build out the interior of the building to create a co-working and business development center. The entrepreneurs of today don't use the traditional model of holding bricks and mortar offices because you got to pay rent and all these other things. They rent space on an as-needed basis, and that's kind of what this project is about. You know, Bon and his wife have invested significantly in the downtown area, and they would like to see a space that entrepreneurs can use to conduct meetings, to brainstorm things of this nature, and that's what they're going to finish it out and use it for. I think that's fairly accurate, isn't it, Bon?
Yes.
And if you don't recognize the address of the building, it's the old IGA building for us old folks. There's advances after that.
You.
So if this use changes, let's say in 5 years, the use of this building changes, does that forfeit the tax abatement since?
Could, depending on the use, but
Okay.
that's why we have the compliance statement each year to review. Yeah. There is a procedure to claw back that abatement earlier than that. You don't have to wait till that if there's some major change or.
What's that procedure exactly?
The council can actually file a petition to stop the abatement, to recall it, or if they're not complying with the SB 1.
We actually have been through that process one time with Manchester Tank.
looks like you're going to have current number of employees is, current number is one, and you're going to retain one employee.
Yeah, I mean, I have plans to hopefully have another staff member there, but just me for now, because I can't guarantee that that'll happen.
With the recommendation of the RDC and the scoring, I would make a motion that we approve the tax abatement.
I'll second.
So you're approving Resolution 7-2026?
Sorry, I was trying to...
Okay, that's fine. I just want to get it in the motion.
Yeah, and approving Resolution 7-2026. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong page.
Any abatement? Did you want to go ahead and put that into one motion? So also, Greg just wants to do the one motion passing the resolution, then also the percent, and then who it goes to in one motion.
And you said it's gone to economic development mostly?
It's required, the statute states that the city council has to direct the Lawrence County auditor to distribute the fees to one or more public or nonprofit entities established to promote economic development within the city. So you have to choose one or more economic development.
Maybe said they did it lately. It's been going.
It's been the redevelopment commission.
Redevelopment.
RDC's where it had been going.
But we can change that if we want. We can change that.
You can put it in any one of the four, however you choose.
So do I need to put that all in my motion? And
That's Greg's requested all be put in one motion.
I think so.
I'd make a motion to approve Resolution 7-2026 that we do a 10-year abatement going from 100% down to 0% at 10% increments, and that we do 75% to the Bedford RDC and 25% to Lawrence County Economic Growth Council.
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Now we have request approval and acceptance of Chili Red Investments Tax Abatement SB1. Real estate improvements, 2535 39th Street, and approving Resolution 8-2026 establishing deductions for real estate improvements tax abatements. Greg?
Thank you, Mayor. This abatement's just a little bit different. We've done one other before this for residential purpose, so the use of the property is actually residential, not business, not commercial, and it's not manufacturing equipment, so it falls under a different statute. In this particular case, it was presented to the Redevelopment Commission earlier, and they scored the abatement and recommended a maximum term for the abatement at 5 years. You're limited to a 5-year abatement on residential. Something that's a little different for this abatement, you're limited to 10% of the area of the city on these types, and you have to find that it's residentially distressed area. So that particular area where this abatement would apply you have to find within this resolution, based on the SB1 and the information given to you, that it's a residentially distressed area. And those factors are listed there in the resolution, A through F, under Section 1. In addition to that, you also have to make the same findings you did on the last one, what percentage of fee you want to collect. And their same limits, 15% or 100,000, whichever is less. You also have to establish the percentage each year that it'll be abated. So standard would be reducing by 20% each year. So 100, 80, 60, 40, and 20 in the final year. I believe that's it. I know the owners are here, and Dan, of course, to answer any questions.
And just one piece of clarification on the SB1, Section 3, on the current number of employees. The number you see in there is the number of construction workers that will be involved in construction. Those are not current permanent employees. That will be right now, it will just be Mr. and Mrs. Morris, and then eventually they're going to hire up to 10 people, just for clarification.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 8-2026, tax abatement, starting at 100%, dropping 20% for 5 years. Is that right, Greg? Yes. Okay. And also to distribute the tax abatement to 75% to RDC and 25% to Lawrence County Growth Council.
And 15%?
I'm sorry?
At 15%?
Yep.
I'll second that one as well.
All right. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Just for clarification, I may have missed it. In Ryan's motion, did he specify the 15%?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm assuming so.
Okay,
That's how
just for
I wrote it.
clarification, it was the 15%. I didn't catch that he actually put the 15%. So just for clarifying the 15% on that abatement also. Okay. All right, moving on to Stonegate Arts and Education Center, June 2026 update. Linda Henderson.
Okay, good evening. As you can see, you have your handout. Stonegate continues to be doing very well building rental. You can see that our building rental for at this time is $33,241. Last year at the same time it was $17,000. Overall revenue at $37,824. Last year it was little over $23,000. So our rental continues to be strong, and I expect those numbers to continue to improve as well. Grant update, we did receive notification that we're receiving for the 4th year Duke Energy grant of $3,000, but that grant is totally dedicated to the skilled trade showcase that's scheduled for October 1st, and we're continuing to do that. Last, when I was here in April, I shared with you all that we had a new opportunity. We've been contacted by Trilogy Health Services and about exploring buying out some space for us. Kathy Billington with the Growth Council and I had a Zoom call this afternoon. We're moving forward with that. Actually, they may actually want more space, and they are going to be doing a site visit in July. But what they will be doing, we will be the regional, the state of Indiana site for their employee trainings, and they partner with the School of Nursing out of New York, and their employees will either be getting LPN license or getting their RN. So it's a huge opportunity for us. We will be the site for the state of Indiana. They are expanding into Indiana and Michigan. So they ideally would like to be in the building and operating and training their employees by May of next year, or no later than September. We will be ready for them. The issue will be them getting everything lined up with the state of Indiana so that the School of Nursing that's coming to Indiana has Indiana credentials so that they can deliver the training. So some of that's out of our hands, but we'll be ready for them. New collaboration. Joe Vorse and I met with staff from ROI. Their new Momentum Initiative, the ROI Regional Opportunity Initiative, they received a Department of Defense grant to focus on microelectronics workforce development initiative to help strengthen the pipeline for the security defense employers in the area. We currently, they launched the Momentum Initiative at Westgate, and at Westgate they partner with the schools in and around Westgate. The next step will to launch at Stonegate and partner with the schools around us. And we will be working on that in the fall. Probably won't actually have students in one of the schools to probably sometime in the spring of 27. So 27 is going to be a really big year for us with Trilogy and then with the Momentum project going on. New initiatives, it's all pretty much the same. You can see we did partner with the Lawrence County Home Extension homemakers during the Limestone Heritage Festival. We had an art show. If you missed it, you missed it. But we had roughly 50 people come to the art show. They want to make the art show an anchor event for the Limestone Heritage Festival, and we were excited to be a partner with that. Kids Camp registrations, our numbers are down. We actually had to cancel 2 of the kids' camps because we didn't have the registrations to make the camp happen. We got 2 scheduled for July. We're going to do some additional marketing, but there's a lot of competition for kids programs this summer, more than have been in a while. And also with the economy as it is, it's $80 is a tank of gas for an SUV, and that's what camp costs to come to Stonegate. We will be in the fall offering Introduction to Keyboard. Becky Munson will be providing that both for adults and youth, and we hope to introduce Introduction to Guitars as well this fall. We are waiting on a couple of grants. Notification, we applied for the Ready Grant 2.0 for arts, and we're waiting to hear notification if we got that grant, and if so, how much. Our request was for roughly $191,000, and that's over 30 months. So, but we'll see. So, and we're looking forward to hearing on that. Any questions? Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does the board have anything for discussion?
Fireworks, 4th of July?
Yes. Fireworks, 4th of July over at Wilson Park. Actually, at the Board of Works today, we did the road closures and preparation for that, and we're in the process of accepting donations for the fireworks. We anticipate this year again that all the fireworks will be funded from donations, the way it's looking, which is a great thing. We want to thank all of our businesses and citizens and everyone for that contribution to the fireworks. One other note that I will make, back whenever the council chambers was in City Hall a few years ago, at that point in time, they named the council room the Mark E. Scherschel Council Chambers. So as you notice on the wall, I built that marker over here and put it up into this building for that reason. Of course, we named this building a little bit differently because this building now is being used for all of our meetings. Everyone, the park board met here earlier today. All of our pension boards will meet here at this time. Basically, every board that we have now will be utilizing this facility and go from there. So, anything else from the council? I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So move. Second. All those in favor signify by aye.